Hi all, hope you all are doing great. So today we are going to discuss a important application of graph theory in computer science. So I hope you all have the social media account, like you might have Facebook account, LinkedIn account or Instagram account. So coming to Facebook account, you might have seen these things like in Facebook we get some kind of friend suggestion. Like let's suppose you are Ram, it will say like that, hey, do you know Ram? Do you know Sita? Such kind of suggestions comes. So have you ever think like how these suggestions are coming, these friend suggestions are coming? So these things we are going to understand in a brief way in today's class. So yeah, before explaining that, first of all I want to ask you about the adjacent concept. Like in your matriculation in 10th standard, you might have learned about what I can say, like adjacent sides are there, adjacent vertex, you might have learned about. So if you don't know, I will explain you in very brief. Let's suppose this is a rectangle, let's suppose ABCD is a rectangle, and if I ask you like what are the vertex that are adjacent to A. What are the vertex that are adjacent to A? So what are the vertex that are adjacent to A? So adjacent vertex are those vertex which are directly connected to a particular vertex. Now I am asking about A vertex. So what are the vertex that are directly connected to A? So we have B is there and D is there. So these two vertex are directly connected with A. So what we can say, B and D are the two vertex which are directly connected with A. And if I ask you like, hey, is C is the adjacent vertex to A? You can say no, it's not directly connected, so it's not the adjacent vertex. So this concept I will use to explain that concept of friend suggestion in case of Facebook. So let's suppose this here is a person, let's suppose M is a person in a Facebook. Now before going to Facebook, if I ask you what is internet, so you can say like, hey, internet is just a collection of web pages and having some what you can say link between them. We go to some web page and we click, and if there is some another web page which is linked to it, it will go to that next web page. So internet is just like what you can say a chain of various web pages. Now coming to same way, if you talk about the graph theory, we can consider these vertex as the web pages, and the edges between these web pages is just like a linking. Let's suppose there is a home.jsp is there and it is redirected to b.jsp. So these are directly linked with each other, so there will be a kind of edge kind of thing. In the same way, this concept we will use to explain the concept of friend suggestion. So let's suppose M is a person, like Mohan is a person who have let's suppose 4 friends. So one friend is like C is there, D is there, B is there, A is there. So these are the 4 friends. Now coming to various friends of C have a friend, let's suppose L is a friend and N is a friend. These are the 2 persons who are friend of C. Now coming to D have a friend like L is a friend of D, not L, T is a friend of D, and let's suppose S is a friend of B. And let's suppose what O is a friend of A. Now if I ask you like this is a, let's suppose this is a small cluster of this whole network of Facebook, let's suppose 5 to 10%, and if I ask you who are the friend of M, like friend of M, so what you will say, it will be like what are the vertex which are at distance 1, means what are the vertex that are adjacent to M. So what are the vertex that are adjacent to M? It is like C is there, D is there, B is there, and A is there. So these are the vertex which are directly linked with A. So these are at distance how much? These are at the distance of 1. So these vertex we call as the friend. Now coming to like friend suggestion, how it works. So there is a concept like called as breadth first search in graph theory. In graph we have a concept, in data structure we might have learned about. There is a concept of graph traversal that is called as breadth first search. So how it works, you basically, let's suppose Facebook want to send friend suggestion for the person M. So what it will do, it will search for all the vertex which are at distance 2 from M. So what are the vertex which are at distance 2 from M? Means what are the vertex that are distance 2 from M. So if you see from figure, like what are the vertex that are distance 2 from M? So like C is at distance 1 and N and L is there. So like N is there, L is there. Now coming to this side, S is there. Now coming to this side, O is there. Now coming to this side, T is there. So these are the various vertex which are at distance 2 from M. So what Facebook will do, it will try to send the notification to all those persons, like notification to M, like, hey, do you know T, do you know O, do you know S, do you know L? Basically this is not the only way. They may use, like, let's suppose L is a person who is friend of B and C both. So here the tight coupling is there, like C knows L, B knows L, so there might be chances like M also know about the L. So they use this concept also, like two persons are common friend, then they will search this, they will use this concept, and with this concept they will send the kind of notification to us, like, hey, do you know him, do you know him? So this is a concept about sending the friend suggestion. So it's just like the overview, there's more detail. So yeah, this is all about. So thanks man.